Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alfian Arsyah. I'm from 4BD, English Department, Sujaya State Polytechnic. This time, I want to present my journal that I have read. The journal title is The Liminal Role of the Screenplay, Production, the Screen Idea, and the Visual Concept. The author of the journal is Juliet Jones, volume number 25 and issue number 62. Published date 27 October 2021. First, introduction. The creative process in conventional narrative filmmaking involves the careful threading together of myriad ideas to tell a story, within the evident limitation of time and money. Ideas derived from the vast and varied personnel involved in commercial screen projects are shared and negotiated through the production process and eventually coalesce to create one unified vision in the final work. This article limits its focus to the pre-production period and within that to the work of the creative triumvirate of director, production designer, and director of photography. Elements such as color, spatial designs, compositions, camera movements, and lens choice comprise the overarching visual concept through which the narrative will be conveyed. Extending the screen idea. The screen idea is a term that was extended by the UK scholar Ian MacDonald in 2004 from a concept introduced by Philip Parker in 1998. The screen idea describes a shared vision for a project as it evolves from initial concept through to its final form. The screenplay is a unique document in that it describes an idea for a story in words which will be realized through audiovisual means. Whilst the screenwriter embeds the script with the visual ideas on many levels, it is generally accepted in conventional non-auteur production that it is the job of the production crew to adapt this inherent visual suggestion into concrete ideas for the look of the work. MacDonald mainly used the term the screen idea in the context of the screenwriting process. However, it can be extended further into the production process to include the evolution of the screen idea over the entire course of creating a screen work. Further, the documentary evidence produced alongside the script during the screen production process. The visual concept. During pre-production, cast and crew make decisions under the guidance of the director that are based on their negotiated ideas for how the story will be told through a dramatic means. Actors develop their characters, costumes, hair, and makeup. Sets and locations are designed, lit, and photographed, and audio is recorded and enhanced. The production person's understanding of the story and their decisions to tell it in a particular way govern the decision-making process. Creative interaction. The perpetual pitch. The screen idea is a subject to continual creative and logistical refinement, which causes it to be in a constant state of flux. The creative triumvirate con- the The creative triumvirate continues to bounce ideas back and forth within the framework of the story until a final concept for the film is arrived at. Scripts are subject to regular amendment. Reference imagery is continuously being edited and ideas are in perpetual state of refinement. The production process can therefore be described as a state of persistent negotiation and verification. Scripts are subject to regular amendment. Reference imagery is continuously being edited, and ideas are in a perpetual state of refinement. The production process can therefore be described as a state of persistent negotiation and verification. To find their eventual finished concept form, Collaborator performs a kind of perpetual pitch to each other. Each crew member contributes their ideas to each other through the lens of each one crafts, creating a dynamic exchange in which the script and its narratives provide the primary foundation. Creative activity between individuals can be seen as a performance in which collaborators signal to each other that they have the capacity and will to develop a mutual understanding about the subject matter. To some degree, every time collaborators put an idea forward to other members of the group, they are using techniques similar to those required in a formal pitch session. Pitch sessions are typically held when a creator presents a concept or project to those who may be interested in funding it. In a pitch session, participants aim to entice their potential collaborators with their ideas that are then judged on their creative potential, but also on whether there is a common ground, connection, and desire to collaborate between the parties. Creative interaction, getting on the same page. Collaborators use the visual reference method they choose to converse into signal to each other that they have similar, desirable, and or inspirational approaches to the subject matter. Through this presentation, members of the triumvirate indicate to each other that their contribution to the storytelling is truly considered, researched, inventive, and therefore of value to the project. Many filmmakers describe it as imperative to their working relationship, especially in the early stage. Collaborators who struggle to create a mutual understanding of the subject matter find that they are working at odds. Sometimes a difference of opinion can result in the formation of inventive ideas. However, most personnel report that an ability to get on the same page leads to the most productive outcomes. Getting on the same page can also be functional then imperative to the process, which ensures everyone is seeing the screen idea in the same terms. Creative interaction, trust, and empathy. In order to flourish, creative collaboration also requires trust and empathy for each other's viewpoint, and many of the triumvirate members report a preoccupation with establishing this early in each working relationship. Many of the interaction between the triumvirate during the pre-production contribute to establishing and maintaining a sense of trust. Some crew members claim that feeling a connection with their collaborators is as important as feeling inspired by the narrative in the script itself. Creative catalysts inside and outside the production crew. Although the screen idea exists in the minds of everyone who contributes during the production process, it may mean very different things to different personnel at different times. For the triumvirate of director, production designer, and director of photography, during pre-production, the screen idea begins to find shape through initial response to the story expressed in the script. Nevin et al. 2020. To some degree, it is primarily a private response in each crew member's imagination, but other factors are also at play that simultaneously influence the members of the triumvirate. Members of the triumvirate have stated that a part of their creative process is to consider other pre-existing works that share similarities with the project they are embarking on. Pre-existing works can therefore exert attention on the creative ideas that emerge in the pre-production process. At this early stage, when heads of department are undertaking the seemingly solitary task of reading and responding to the project scripts, there are always external factors weighing in on the creative process of each individual. Creative catalyst, personal connection. Some filmmakers find that they relate strongly on a personal level to the material through through having had a shared experience to the characters in the story, and that this familiarity sparks their visual ideas. Director of photography Charlie Sarup spoke about his involvement with Australian feature film Relic, which told the tale of three generations of women and the impact dementia had on them as a family. Natalie, as a director, and I both had family members suffer from dementia, so when I heard that she wanted to make a horror film using dementia as a metaphor, it was really inspiring from the start. Sarah, 2020. Creative catalyst embodying the character. For some members of the triumvirate, circumstantial details found in the narrative can send them on experiential or or creative mission that substantially fits their ideas for the storytelling. Spending days walking the streets, the character walk, and visiting the flea markets and shops selling items unique to the area help to further shape our sense to the character in the story. Triumvirate members often report that embodying the characters is imperative to the flow of the ideas for the visual style of the project. The conclusion. During the production process, the ideas of the individual triumvirate members mesh with those of their collaborators, peers, and others that have provided inspiration for their works. The interplay of differing and or shared point of view of enacting the perpetual pitch of pursuing compromise, refinement, and invention create a dynamic tension from which unique concepts arise. The process the process of creative negotiation is forever shifting, with each triumvirate member coming at the project from a different angle, until it goes into one fine work. Whilst the initial concept for a screen project is usually expressed through words and literary imagery, its final iteration on the screen will be in the form of an audio-visual moving image. I think that is all that I have to present. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.